everybody, and welcome to Neurotic News. Welcome back, hopefully. Welcome. You know, maybe you haven't listened before, and you in for a surprise. Don't you reckon?
Yeah, it's weird though to stumble into something in this algorithmic world.
Something like this, especially, I think.
Remember at the video store, you'd stumble into something?
Right, as in you'd rent a movie that
Yeah.
you knew nothing about.
Yeah, to just have like Brendan Fraser on the top of a submarine going, burp. It'd be called like bumped up.
Yeah.
Exclamation. You're like, let's just take a risk.
He gets a woman pregnant and they've got to live in a submarine
Yeah.
for some reason.
Released in 1994.
Those were the days.
You don't have that now.
You don't. I do want to say one thing before we get going into that. Dan and I will be at the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
And if when this is released, it may have already started. Because we are both doing the Melbourne Comedy Festival in late March all through April, and then I'll be doing the Sydney Comedy Festival at the Sydney Comedy Store in May, early May, immediately after that. And I'll do a week at the Brisbane Comedy Festival with my new show. And Dan is doing the Melbourne Comedy Festival as well.
What's the name of it?
Not So Funny Now, is it? That's the name of my show. And it's just all my latest stuff. And it should be pretty good. Feeling pretty good about it. Put a lot of work into it.
Revenge is the best fuel. Premium unleaded.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm fueled by bitterness and rage.
Yeah, it's all I have. I don't have any of the positive emotions. But I feel like positive emotions as a form of fuel, they're more like wind turbines and you know what I mean? It's more like alternative.
It's a more sustainable energy source.
It's more sustainable, but I think sometimes
it's not as potent.
You need the fossil fuels.
Get the coal out and burn that fucking. Why didn't you fucking book me for that? You said this, that. You didn't fucking. Oh, he's gonna do that. We'll fucking see.
I think you need that.
Yeah.
You need the coal miner shoveling coal into the furnace of hate.
I agree.
Which that's in the frontal lobe.
Is it?
The coal mine. Just
yeah.
The fuck.
Yeah, I'll show them all. I'll fucking show them all.
Does solar and wind turbines? That's like it's what a nice day. What a fun.
I'm gonna put my mind to this and work hard at it.
No.
As opposed to, I can't sleep because I'm going to fucking prove that fucking wrong.
Yeah.
That's real nuclear energy.
It's like when your Tesla battery explodes and you go back to fuel.
You're
like, it is a bit more reliable. It was good while it lasted, I'll say that much, with the charging portals and so forth.
I did like what you were saying about the video store.
Oh, yeah.
Because video store is, it is very nostalgic. Think about Blockbuster and shit. Going in and like there being videos on the shelf.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine now, hey?
There's a nerdy guy going, yeah, get that one. It's vintage Fellini.
Yeah. There was always a guy at the thing, hey, that was like mega knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's like, that's actually Scorsese's latest release.
Like he'd do you to get the it's all right. What's happening? Where's that guy now? The guy with the plastic bag full of everything he owns. I prefer his earlier work.
Drinking a 2-liter thing of Pepsi, warm Pepsi.
Yeah.
Behind the counter. Yeah, who is that guy? Where is he now? What does he do now? You know what he does? He runs a blog about movies.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
And it's beautiful. But
it's a beautiful thing.
It's weird because like I like movies, and I go to the cinema and the cinemas are empty. And it's weird because I get to feel like a billionaire who's hired the cinema.
Right.
I'm like a private screening.
So as opposed to someone with a problem with smoking too much pot and who is unemployed and a fledgling career where you sleep on couches around Australia, you visualize a billionaire who owns the cinema.
Yeah, that's because you can do that now. Because like I go to movies and it's just me. I swear to God, like 2 p.m. It'll be me and like maybe a couple of old ladies or something.
Yeah.
Like a Miss Marple's Crumpet Circle type matinee hour.
I didn't expect Tarantino to use that much violence. They're smashing her woman's head into a mantelpiece over and over again till her skull caves in.
I just think it's not nice.
I don't think he should have set that woman on fire and kicked her to death.
That's at the matinee hour of the Tarantino film.
Yeah.
2 p.m.
Who is Tarantana? He doesn't know who Tarantino is.
It's time for spaghetti. But
they're going to drag that man behind a car, are they?
It's a tortellini.
That's a different movies to what we used to watch.
I thought it was a Harold's Precipice. You know, they see movies like that.
Yeah.
You're going to watch Harold's Precipice.
Yeah, all the old ladies watch movies from back in their day where it's like black and white and a dude comes in and goes, well, I wouldn't say that if I were you, and quite rather not. Thank you, Marker.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Marge. And then you storm out and close the door and they'd come in on a woman who's going, oh my God, oh. But now it's like someone getting their head kicked in and then it's fucking hardcore fucking and then someone shoots someone in the face and
they're eating a cupcake.
Watching that.
Eating a slice of banana bread. Oh.
That was nice.
It's inappropriate. I thought it was inappropriate. Yeah, because it's weird because if you're a fan of going to the movies, you actually benefit from the death of cinema. Like it's at peak cinema now because you get the cinema to yourself.
In Aircon.
So you can munch kettle chips loudly without going like, fuck.
Yeah.
Because you get stoned and you're like, can they hear the kettle crunch?
Yeah. You know what the worst is when someone's got chips in your stand-up and they're like, have you ever had someone unwrap something in stand-up in the audience?
Crinkly.
Fucking hell. One time I was like, you have to stop. Okay, we're going to have to stop that. Like I was on the cusp in Melbourne. I was having a full breakdown. I was like, my doctor said you can't disrupt a show like that. I'm on Valium.
Really, you said that?
Yeah. I was fully like, I had to get Valium from a doctor.
That's when you have to claim misophonia or whatever.
What's that mean?
Like you're hyper aware of sounds and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like when there's someone on the quiet carriage, do like crunching carrot sticks
because
they think it's like a loophole. It's like I can hear the fucking
just because it's a carrot.
Baba Ganoush, your dog.
You
know, because it's healthy.
Sloshing around your celery, sticking a bit of baba ganoush, you fucking bitch.
I know, but it's weird with the sounds when they're not really loud. They're more distracting. Like you go to the sauna, sometimes people whisper. And that's more distracting than a loud, because they go, and then we're gonna, and so you start trying to hear what they're talking about.
Are you guys talking about me?
Yeah, guys, I'm right here. It's just a bit disrespectful when we're all trying to relax.
Oh shit!
Like I come here to unwind, not to eavesdrop on strangers' conversations.
Yeah. Sometimes when people in public are enjoying themselves too much, it annoys me. Don't know why. Like even at the cafe before, there was a couple like laughing and he was like a much older bald man and she was quite attractive, younger woman. And I was like, yeah, he wants to fuck you.
You went up and said that.
Yeah. Sorry guys, could I interrupt your Edge Benedict? He wants to fuck you. That's why he's laughing and acting all, oh.
Try the spanner crab omelette. You leave with a suggestion, weirdly. Like it's kind of helpful.
Yeah. Also, yeah, you should try the spanner crab. It's unbelievable. When dating, I have a theory. Not that I'm dating anymore, but when I was, I have a theory that when you have low self-esteem, it's not really it's not fucking really a theory. If you have low self-esteem, you're rolling out the red carpet, aren't you? For psychos to stomp all over you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like low self-esteem and no boundaries. I've opened the door up for some horrible fucking people and they just waltz on in with a gaslight into the mine, trying to find the deepest fucking thing. Those kind of people you date when you come home and all your shit's in the pool and you got so low self-esteem, you're like, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't think that, should have thought ahead that my stuff might end up in the pool.
You got to put a snorkel on to find your Dell laptop.
It's like, oh, but here it is at the bottom. That's
I like it
okay.
at the bottom.
Yeah, I didn't need it anyway.
It was too distracting.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like you just like, that's what happens is you have low self-esteem, then you date a psycho, and that's because you accept them in. But I found when I had that experience a couple of times and got better at like saying no and just like having more self-belief, you're just like, no, stop. And you won't let those people in. It's kind of like, in those movies where there's like a vampire, it's like you have to invite them in for them to enter. It's a bit like that.
Right. So now you're wearing a garlic necklace.
Yeah.
A crucifix.
Keep away the psychos.
But also you are a Christian as well now.
Mm.
But yeah, it's like I see people and they, you see a type, there'll be someone who's got more boundaries than a surveyor.
Right.
Like they're just totally like, nah, don't want to.
Right.
Don't want to go there.
You mean healthy people?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like,
Are you envious?
Build a fence.
Are you envious of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. You mean just the guys like, no, don't like that, don't like you.
Yeah.
There's something envious about people who just are happy to be hated.
Yeah, I'm such a pussy. If an alpha male disrespects me, I help them. They'll be like, I'll be like, pussy, my liege? Like, because I got scoliosis. Would you like to throw a blanket over my back and have some baba ganoush? Have a picnic, my lord?
Scoliosis sounds like an Italian dish. And they got the scoliosis.
Hey, they got a salmonella. We got a scoliosis. We got a spina bifida.
Diseases that sound like Greek dishes.
It's weird, yeah, because my doctor said Mediterranean food diet is the best way to prevent disease. If you have a Mediterranean diet, it'll prevent all these diseases. But all the diseases I have sound like Mediterranean food. Scoliosis, a spina bifida, a salmonella. Like that sounds like a Puttanesca or something,
Yeah,
like
it does.
the spanakopita.
Spanakopita?
Your back is a
Scoliosia.
spanakopita.
Give me a scoliosis and a spanakopita.
Yeah, it's all written in chalk. I'd order that.
Yeah.
If I saw spina bifida, I'd be like, is that on tortellini? Do you choose the pasta type or
Spin a different. Yeah. Bakadafadakada.
babarappa?
Baparapparapara.
I guess because the Latins named all the diseases and they name all the menus.
Yeah, it's the same people. It's funny with the
The
journey
Romans.
they've been through, the Romans, isn't it? Because, I mean, Italians were Romans, a vast empire that conquered the world, and they were strong people like Stoics, Caesar, Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic, who said, these incredibly strong things like, nothing external to you can ever harm you. It's only your judgment of it. Like these incredible, profound ideas that shaped culture. They were strong people with clear directives.
I remember his general said to Marcus Aurelius, he's like, oh, your firstborn has perished. And he said, I knew he was not immortal.
That's right. He said, I didn't think he was going to live forever, did I? It's like, yeah, no, I'm just telling you he's dead.
And now Stoicism would be diagnosed as autism now.
It would.
It'd be like he felt nothing when his son died. Okay, we have a treatment plan for that. One of the Stoic exercises was to put a human skull on your desk while you work so you know that life is finite. But if you do that now, you become a suspect in a homicide.
Right. Or you're just like pulled in by HR. It's like, look, you can't have skeletal remains on your desk. It's off-putting to Cheryl.
Oh, but Marcus really said it would help me function.
Cheryl comes into HR. He's got a human skeleton on his desk so that he can realise that life's not finite. Life's not infinite. And I think it's disrupting the workplace.
That's not the kind of culture.
Yeah, is that disrupting it, is it, Cheryl? What about when you eat your tuna salad, you fat cunt?
What about
you fucking
You
bitch?
smelled like tinned fish.
If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve. I can't handle you.
That's why I got a human skull on my desk, and they've been telling me to get out of here.
You know, Marilyn Monroe said that. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Now you get Cheryl saying that in the office. You can't handle me. I can't handle you, particularly at your worst.
I barely tolerate the
Stay
desk.
away from my desk.
Don't touch my skull.
Don't-
It used to be my gardener.
Don't touch my skull,
head.
you fucking bitch.
I'm a grave digger. I dig graves up.
To remind me that life isn't infinite.
Yeah, you get caught digging a grave these days. They're like, what? So, are you a necrophiliac? No, I just wanted to get the skull and kind of. I work at Ernst and Young, but
I wanted the skull.
I'm just trying to get into Stoicism because I read Marcus Aurelius. He said to put a human skull on my desk, and
they're like, you're still under arrest though. So you're gonna have to, because it's actually illegal to decimate someone else's remains. You're like, yeah, but Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, no, we heard you. You're just still under arrest though, so you can have a think about
philosophy though.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's illegal.
Yeah, so
we've desecrated a burial.
We're gonna throw you in the lockup for the night and piss on you.
Yeah,
just because, for some reason.
Queensland.
It's Queensland. Queensland police.
It's Bjelke Peterson. Yeah. But yeah, and it is weird that the Romans were just like very like, yes, I have come, my liege.
Strong, like direct, stoic, philosophical,
haircuts.
Empire.
They've got that weird. They all had the same haircut as Mark
Regimented.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Like Mark that short,
they did
back and sides kind of thing that he's got.
And they're always fucking eating grapes and having an orgy.
Which I feel is a bit too much. Like, they do the reenactment in the documentaries. They'll be drinking the wine and with the grapes and the orgy, which feels too much. Like you couldn't be a bit difficult.
Can we separate these two activities?
It feels like they were separate. They were like emperors eat grapes and do orgies, and then in the reenactment, they're like, just put it in the same.
So what
scene.
You're saying is you think historians have gone, okay, they're having an orgy, they'd probably be eating grapes.
Yeah.
Chuck that in the picture too.
It'll just make it seem more debauched. But when you look at the reenactment, he's trying to, do you know what I mean? He's trying to grab a titty and but there's a grape and he's like,
yeah, you think it's just a bit too much to handle. Because I don't reckon I could be that relaxed in an orgy and be like, bring over a bowl of grapes.
And I'll have a wine to like. It's like when you ever have just too many meals and like you're dipping. It's like Homer Simpson. Like you eventually get.
Yeah, you're on the couch with dip and then you've got, pizza and then you've got, a sauce and then you've got chips and,
Even Caligula. Caligula?
Caligula?
Even Caligula was like, no, I have my grapes
after the orgy. Thank you.
This is out of hand.
Even Caligula, as they say.
Caligula, it was too much for him to have the grapes and wine.
Well, every time you see paintings from ancient Greece or Rome, they're always gathered around looking all dramatic, going, oh my God, like that around one person lying down with grapes.
Yeah.
It's a really common...
It's weird because they have the grapes and the wine, but now our ruling elite will drink an almond cappuccino.
And have almonds.
And eat almonds.
So, yeah, have a think about that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But they're always like one dude passing out in the background. They're so, like Socrates is lying down because they're poisoning him and they're all gathered around going, oh my God. One dude's always fainting.
Yeah.
There's always that dude. Fainting in the background.
Undiagnosed epilepsy.
One guy's eating grapes, one guy's fainting. But that's the Romans, they were so strong.
Yeah.
And now Italians, you don't think of them like that, do you?
Well, that's the other thing with Italians now, they're like ba-ba-da-ba-da, and they're
you think of like
ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. On a Vespa.
Yeah.
With a pizza going, it's amore.
Yeah, you don't, You think of a fruit shop or something.
That kind of thing. Beeping Vespas.
Yeah.
I tell you, no.
Sexually assaulting women in tight jeans.
Vespa.
I mean the man in tight jeans.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Skinny jeans. And prosciutto. And...
Prosciutto.
And like all these... And
hepatitis.
What's weird is the Romans were fighting German barbarians.
Right, yeah.
So the German barbarians were just like these hordes of... the Germans were just savages, just...
Yeah, the Germans were savage tribal hordes versus the regimented, well-organized, all-conquering Romans.
But now the Germans are like...
well-organized.
They're like the Romans.
Well-organized, precise, authoritarian, uniform.
And the Italians are like the barbarians.
The barbarians of culture.
They're running late and, you know.
Oh, fuck.
And that's why I don't understand how it's weird that fascism was invented by Mussolini.
Right.
Because it's just such a weird place. Like, you know, you're eating gelato, getting a gondola ride, and you're like, you know what would spice this up? Authoritarianism.
Yeah, it is. I guess you don't think of it like that, do you? You think that it doesn't lend itself to authoritarianism, the Italian lifestyle.
You'd think it'd be invented in Germany because they got like a wheelbarrow full of bratwurst or whatever. There's just more depressing imagery. Like you'd think that's where it would be.
Well, it did get there, didn't it?
It got there, but I think Mussolini was the Steve Wozniak of fascism.
Well, he did, yeah. He started it.
Did the programming of it all, but didn't have the marketing. Didn't have the Apple logo.
Right.
He's like, I've got the programming, but...
Yeah, and then Hitler was like, I'll take it from here. He's the Steve Jobs of fascism.
Yeah.
He did the marketing well.
Dressed it in black.
Made a cool logo and whatnot.
Yeah, marketing.
Propaganda. I saw a really funny thing about a filmmaker guy who was Hitler's official personal film guy. So he followed Hitler around with a camera. And at one point, he was on a plane with Mussolini and Hitler. And, you know, it was fucking the 1940s. So they're like, well, you know, I had the camera, so I thought I might put it on Mussolini to see what he would do. And he said for the entire flight, Mussolini just stared straight ahead without blinking. Just didn't move. And he goes, it's quite a tough, kind of boring subject, really, to film. He didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, he's a total fucking psycho.
Yeah.
He just stared straight ahead. He just stared straight ahead.
I
don't know why. I just find that really funny.
I've seen like older men doing that on planes because they skipped. They're not addicted to their phone, but they don't read books either. So I've seen a dude just stare ahead on a plane. I'm serious, for like 8 hours just.
Yeah. I'm kind of impressed by that, if that's what
it is. It is impressive. It's just they're not on Candy Crush. They didn't get on the phone. They probably don't even know how to text, but they could call or something. And they just sit on it's unbelievable. It's like in this world. They just don't, because they don't read. They're not reading books either.
Yeah, well, I'm impressed by that. I think it's good to sit and do nothing. It's actually excruciating.
It is.
I mean, the younger generation to be bored, it's going to hurt for them if this whole thing collapses. And like it hurts for me, but like the new generation, I mean, I can't imagine. That's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, it's like you're playing a Ponzi scheme with all your neurochemicals. You know, your neurotransmitters. It's this Ponzi scheme, the build-up of being like addicted to like games, and then when you relinquish it, it crashes like a stock market.
Right.
And it cashes in.
Yeah. It's not all good for the young people either. Like, it's not like easier. Like, we have the illusion that it's easier for young people today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, you know, they've got it easier, but you think about it, they get bullied at home. You know, because they got the phone. Like, they're bullied, like they're getting bullied when they're in their bedroom from their bully at school electronically. Do you know how hard that would have been to do when I was a kid? They'd have to call the home phone. Dad would answer, hello, yeah, g'day, Mr. Power, this is Jimmy, Damien's bully. Well, you know, what I've found's been working, you know, then Dad just gives him some hot tips.
Yeah. You had to have an intermediary.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would be tough growing up now. I feel sorry for my son. I mean, in some respects. Obviously, he's loved and has parents and stuff that aren't devoid of emotion.
He has access to Uber Eats.
He has access to Uber Eats also.
Which is important.
Which in your autistic mind is like the biggest car brings you food.
Biggest.
Based on an algorithm app.
Yeah.
That's the biggest up, not the affection.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. That provides more emotional scaffolding than...
Yeah.
a loving gaze.
You know what's I just mean in the sense that boomers are just narcissistic. Like they're just devoid of. It's just a cliche to say that.
It's weird that they don't believe in climate change, but they also hate using air conditioning. Like they won't.
Yeah, you
they
think
don't
they'd
believe
love it.
it's actually happening, and you try to use the air conditioning to counteract it. They're like, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's
don't
not
need
hot.
it.
And everyone's sweating. They're like, it's not hot. It's freezing.
Don't waste electricity, which isn't contributing to man-made climate change, by the way. But don't use it.
Yeah.
Strange.
It's the one thing they want to conserve, but it's just more from the cult of frugality.
Well, that's a great phrase. You know what I notice about young people? Because sometimes I go and do these workshops that are for young kids, teenagers in high school. And you go and do stand-up, and they do stand-up, and you give them notes, and then they have a little competition, and that's it. They're all so political. Like they all had stuff on feminism, like sexism, like climate change, like trans. There's a couple of trans kids talking about trans issues. And when I was in high school, I had no clue about politics. Nothing. I didn't know what Labor, Liberal. Did you?
No, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. And now, like, they're going to Pride Parade and shit. And you know what? You know what's crazy about Pride Parades now? Is that asexual is is that part of the LGBTIQ?
Yeah, that's the asexual flotilla. It's for people who don't have enough energy to have sex, but just enough to let you know they're not having any.
Right, they like to let you know.
But really, I think it's good because it's like it kind of acts as a palate cleanser for the rest of the spice.
Right.
Of the parade.
Okay.
It's like, when you go to an Indian restaurant and they give you that yogurt. So you can, you're having like a lamb burner and you go into the Raita, that yogurt.
Yes.
It's so you can get back into the
spice.
Lamb Raita. So you need like the animatronic dildos penetrating through assless leather chaps. And then you need the asexual dude just on a swivel chair caressing a ferret.
So the asexual dude caressing a ferret, is that his float
in
the parade?
Just one guy.
So you're saying there's like floats of gay men gyrating,
Yeah.
arseless chaps, giant fake penises shooting cream over the crowd, lesbians dressed as construction workers, acting out, eating each other's pussy.
Yeah.
Then just a dude sitting with a ferret. He's like, I'm the asexual guy. Hello.
I'm caressing this.
Hello.
Yeah.
Like that kind of.
He's wearing his go-kart as a lanyard around his neck. Hi. Getting the bus home. Don't know anyone here.
Hello.
Yeah. It's like that's the you need that. Makes it more of an interesting meal.
Right. Okay.
I love the little yogurt at the Indian place.
Right. You need a bit of neutral.
Yeah.
You need a bit of neutral to counteract the spice.
Nothing adds paprika to a spice than a void. Like the void reminds you.
You mean
of
by
the spice.
comparison?
Yeah. It's contrast therapy. It's like doing a sauna and an ice bath.
Okay.
You've got the sauna of, full on S&M bondage display.
Mm-hmm.
And then
some asexual. The asexual float. Is that what we're
just poor, weird and lonely.
Poor, weird and lonely.
On a float.
Can't that make it into the LGBTIQX blah, 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 blah?
The PWLs.
Yeah. Would you classify yourself poor, weird and lonely?
Well, yeah, because I can smell prime numbers and I'm also getting evicted. So.
Okay, well, say no more.
Yeah. But the PWLs, they're not gonna organise.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're the last stigmatised group with no organisational representation.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess the flag could just be tinned fish.
It does make sense for it to be tinned tuna, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's something about,
Because you just think tinned tuna sort of just sums up the kind of person that eats tinned tuna. especially straight out of the tin,
Yeah.
would be probably poor, weird, and lonely.
Usually too busy hoarding to turn up to a parade.
Right. Just every magazine that they've ever collected.
Yeah.
Just rubbish and
That's like me.
shit.
I'm basically being trapped in my apartment by magazine things that are just rising.
Right. Okay.
And could topple at any moment, crushing my sternum.
Right.
I'm happy to go out that way.
You want to go out that way?
I want to go out with just...
I want instant death.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go. Like the dudes who went down to see the Titanic in the submarine.
That was instant?
Yeah. Oh, for fuck yeah. That's the most instant death there is.
Yeah.
What's more instant than just immense pressure suddenly?
I wouldn't mind going rock climbing and falling off a cliff.
No way. That's scary as shit.
No, it would be.
Might hit someone on the way down.
So many rock climbers, because they just go free solo now. And they perish. They've started making harnesses out of their ponytails.
Right, that makes sense.
Sustainable.
They're the weirdest demographic.
Yeah.
That there is indoor rock climbing.
Yeah. I like to take a Sherpa to the climbing gym just to show them what's happening.
Like you do the mountains and this is what's happening in the inner city.
Yeah.
And he's like, do I carry the bring? It's like, no. They've got all the protein bars and goji balls.
Basically,
and,
it's an incel puppeteering another
shelled
virgin off a wall.
Like you're puppeteering.
Yeah, because you kind of like, it's like a puppet show, like
right.
a marionette. You know, when they're dangling in the air, it's all vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then you're being gently lowered by a dude with a ponytail.
Right. It is the strangest. I mean, I've got a friend of mine who I rock climb with who's indigenous. He's an indigenous African American.
Yeah.
As in like he's Aboriginal and he's half African American.
Yeah.
That's true. And I always dangle him. I always get photos of me dangling him so that if I get cancelled, I'm like, see?
Collateral.
Yeah. I did this. This is my
Yeah.
friend. I'm hanging him in a harness vulnerably.
See
and you think I'm a racist or whatever I get cancelled for.
Do you see that?
This is a great photo of how unracist I am.
He's wearing a nylon nappy that's connected to ropes that I'm puppeteering, so...
Yeah, and you reckon I'm a bad guy. Just, you know what I mean? It's good collateral to have.
Yeah. Well, you know when you can you can elect to donate your kidneys when you're doing something risky or whatever?
Right.
When you go rock climbing, you can tick a box to donate your ponytail to make a harness.
Right. Yeah, that's what you've done there. What you've done there is quite interesting.
You got it.
Yeah, say no more. Yeah, it all adds up. But yeah, it is the weirdest demographic, isn't it? Because how do you describe, like, because we used to do rock climbing. I mean, I don't do it anymore, but
because of the stigma.
Yeah,
the stigma.
But you got to admit, it is an interesting demographic.
You
know, because you got like nerdy meets strong meets risk taking, but really, really. What's the word? What's the opposite of rock star? Like opposite of debaucherous. They're like clean cut, nerdy dweebs that are actually incredibly physically strong and will risk their lives.
Yeah.
That's a very strange combination.
But they can also, they've got like a neck tattoo of the molecular structure for caffeine or something.
Right. That's a great, yeah.
That's one I saw literally. It was like the molecular structure of caffeine as a neck tattoo.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I got a tattoo. I'm the edgy one. In my...
But it's of coffee molecule.
Yeah. It's similar to like an improv troupe. It's like if an improv troupe got ripped.
It is very improv troopy, isn't it?
And there is a lot of like, yes, and I will climb. Like you've got to trust someone to kind of puppeteer you.
It is like a weird improv game where it's like, I'll put you in this harness and hold you up.
So you're just dangling in a harness, like up in like just a simulated environment, and you've got the Sherpa and you're showing him, and he's like, "No, it's not good." Like he doesn't like it. You know?
Yeah, it's like not how you do. This is not how you do.
Get rid of harness, free solo. He's a pussy.
It's funny because the dude sounds Italian. He's a pussy, pussy.
It's to be puppeteered by another virgin is not what we do.
We do not do this where I'm from.
No.
From my village, we know puppeteer pussies.
We have Richard Bronson get up there. Richard Bronson. He runs Virgin. He's not a virgin. He runs it.
Richard Bronson want to go up mountain with us. We take him.
He's not a virgin. He runs it. The company.
He runs the global conglomerate Virgin. Richard Bronson.
It's not a virgin puppeteering another virgin. It's a guy that runs a virgin. The
Virgin
company.
train. Virgin
like a
plane.
Rocket up.
Virgin cruise ship.
But he climb because he a risk taker.
Richard Bronson.
Almost die so many time. Been in a hot air balloon.
This no good what you do inside here.
Simulated pussiness.
Pussiness.
Because it is a
Pussiness.
simulation. And it's like Zelensky was in an improv troupe.
That's unbelievable.
It's crazy to think you got the president of the Ukraine was in an improv troupe, and Putin was poisoning people at that time, throwing people out of windows, putting radioactive isotopes into diplomatics' tea.
Right.
And
yeah, he was the head of the KGB. He was assassinating people, bashing people, intimidating
Poisoning.
people, taking over territories with armies.
Tasering their testicles with cattle
Just
prods.
the most hard-ass,
Crazy.
psychopathic.
And when he was doing that, Zelensky was cosplaying as a marshmallow.
In an improv troupe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the waiter. I've bought your meal, but my meal. But I'm here
Yeah.
with an elephant. How's he going to eat a meal? Oh, yes, I'm an elephant. He was one of the.
I've never seen an elephant eat a pineapple. What have you seen it eat a blah, 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 blah. Hashtag random squirtle turtle.
Then they have a fucking piano come in. You know, they got the dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
They have a fucking.
And then they sing along and they're like, but I am just a carrot, my lord. You know how they're like a carrot or whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
I was actually a carrot, my liege.
So they've got to improv a song in the middle of the fucking thing because the game's a musical.
So he was playing grab ass with the nerdiest people in the
I'm
UK.
going to wench you up the wall in a harness. It's
Yeah.
like, what game is this?
Let me lodge a nylon nappy in your keister and puppeteer you at a distance.
Not how you do.
No.
Pussy. Sorry. No, I'm bringing back too many.
And Putin's like slipping radioactive, tasering testicles with cattle
Yeah,
prods.
stomping people's heads in.
Yeah, and then it's just crazy that between those two, he's
It's a
pretending
draw.
to be a fried egg. Yeah.
It's a draw.
It's a standstill.
Yeah, it's stalemate.
What that must do to Putin.
So you've got a smaller army, a smaller territory, and it's run by a dude who probably at one point
Pretended to
did
be a fried
space
egg.
jump
Yeah.
so that he could pretend to be, you know, a fucking a tree or something, you know, like I'm an alien who loves salad bars
Yeah.
or whatever, that versus the head of a major, massive country that has famously expanded its borders and invaded countries and it's famously tough.
And they're tying.
And it's a draw.
It's a standstill. Like, that's insane just if you look at the two. It's like if a skinhead lost an arm wrestle to a guy wearing a shirt of a cupcake high-fiving a pancake.
Zelensky didn't yes and the invasion, did he?
No.
I'll take Kiev, yes, and also the Donbass.
Yeah.
Donbass region.
Take the other regions. It would have
He
been,
blocked it. They would have said in improv.
It must have been hard to get out of that training.
Training?
You'd be you'd be like, yes, and
Oh, you mean
the
from
Donbass
so
region?
many years of
like the
improv?
brain, 10,000 hour rule. Like 10,000 hours of going, yes, I am but a carrot. And then to be like, no, actually,
No, seriously, they
can't.
put up some air defenses because they're coming and we need to expand our military defense strategy. And
yeah.
no, but seriously, I guess the people around him would have been like goofing around there. He's like, no, but seriously, people are dying. Like, enough. Yeah, this isn't a joke.
we can't, it's not.
Because I'm
funny
sure he
anymore.
put some people from the troop in the cabinet.
Yeah, I think
He
the whole
would have.
cabinet is the
Yeah,
troop.
the weird one who does LARPing
Yeah.
with the plaited, the plaited beard, goatee.
Yeah.
Where he's got it plaited, and he does all the improv judging, but he does LARPing on the weekend. Where he's like, ha ha. He's like,
Yeah.
you can be my general. And he's like, well, the Russians are coming. Perhaps we should know. Seriously, people like
don't use that
actually,
voice.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's
just
not. Joke's over. We need to put some tanks.
Stop watching Blackadder and just
focus.
Like you need to.
This isn't an improv troupe anymore.
Yeah.
But if the helicopter lands, will I be able to get on with my elephant friend and the carrot? It's like
no, it's coordinated
Gets out a
drone
gun.
strikes.
He's like, we'll need to assassinate you, shoot you in the fucking head, Cyril, if you don't fucking take this seriously, because people's lives are at risk, and I'll happily kill you to
This
help
is a loaded
protect.
gun. It's not a.
It's not a prop.
It's not a sketch.
No, seriously, do one more fucking absurdist joke.
But it's a muffin high-fiving a pancake on my shirt. Muffins.
Richard Bronson.
Doesn't get the name.
Yeah.
Richard Bronson came up with Elon Musk and Greg Bezos.
He come with the mountain too.
We all get up in the mountain.
Oh, shit. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for listening. You guys, I hope you guys are good.
Oh, shit.
Come see us during the month of April in Melbourne. That's stupid.
Sorry,
What a stupid episode. You're choking on water. Great. That's just what we need. We'll be back, as always, every second week. There'll be bonus stuff coming up on the Patreon. Once we get the festival done, we're going to be doing more of this neurotic news stuff. I hope you're doing good. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.